Welcome back. Crisis in the Gulf. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson trying to reach a solution and a resolution, meeting with key leaders from Kuwait and Qatar earlier this week. But negotiations are at an impasse this morning now that the United Arab Emirates are threatening more sanctions against Qatar. Joining us right now is Egyptian billionaire Naguib Sawiris. He is with us this morning live. Naguib, it's good to see you again. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Maria.
First, give us a status check. You have been very vocal, basically telling colleagues, stop investing in Qatar. What is your big issue with the Qataris?
No, they are the center of terror. I mean, they are the capital of terror in the Middle East. You know, and when people ask you, they want proof. Guess where everybody is living? All the terrorists live there. All the Muslim Brotherhood heads who flew from Egypt, all the head of the Jama'ah Islamiyah are there. The Sheikh Qardawi, which is the clergyman that is telling young people that they can blow themselves and bomb innocent people and then go to heaven, lives there and is being treated like royalty. You know. Al Jazeera always has footprint of terrorist acts before they happen. I mean, in the same time when they happen, Al Jazeera is the first one to be there, as if they have advance notice of terror acts. I mean, this attempt by the U.S. to bring everybody to come to a resolution is fine, but on which grounds? On the grounds that Qatar can continue supporting terror? This is the big question. I mean, they don't want to stop this because this is their source of power. That's a small country like that, very rich. They feel that the power they have is by operating all these terror groups in the region, trying to destabilize the area, and they hold all the cards in their hand. You know, we're not going to accept that anymore. You know,
yeah.
And whether and the U.S. should be the first one to support the Gulf and Egypt into this attempt to put an end to that. You know, if you guys are going to yield.
How is the U.S. going to support what the Gulf states are saying, that the Qataris are supporting terrorism, when the U.S. has its largest military base in Qatar? I mean, what do you think the U.S. should do about that military base in Qatar?
They should tell them that unless they are going to stop supporting terror, unless they will really understand that the game is over now, they can't continue doing what they do, and that they will need to be scrutinized, and they can't come and claim later on, well, it's private people donating money to terror groups, how can we control that? They know everything. It's all done by their secret service. It's cash being taken in bags and being given to these terrorists, you know. So the U.S. should tell them that they were willing to retreat. All this geopolitical fear that they will then run to the Iranians or side with the Turks and then become out of the scheme, you know, it's happening anyhow. It's happening anyhow. We have nothing to lose. They need to stop this, or they should face it, because even if the U.S. thinks that we Arabs here are not going to do anything about it, they're wrong. I mean, this is in Egypt. I have my own people have been killed through money that has been grown to Libyan terror groups that came up into the Egyptian soil and killed innocent Christians for nothing in front of their wives and children, you know.
Naguib,
so
Naguib, this is Mike Huckabee, and I want to say I think this is a very special moment in the Middle East, in that you have Egypt and other major countries who are now dividing against the terrorists. They're no longer just sort of looking the other way. And I want to say I think the president of Egypt, President al-Sisi, has done remarkably well in trying to stand up to some of these terrorists. I'm proud of the Saudis and others, and I understand about the military base in Qatar, but I think the United States has an obligation to say that standing against terrorism is more important than simply protecting a piece of real estate that they have, even if they have to relocate it. I want to commend you, because it's taken an enormous amount of courage on your part and others in the Middle East to openly distance yourself from these countries that have clearly sponsored the murder of innocent people, especially Christians in the Middle East.
Yeah. I think what's not being said here is that there are geopolitical accounts. So some people are telling Mr. Tillerson, you know, if we don't do that, then they will run and fall into the Iranian hands, and Mr. Erdogan, with his ambitions, he's sending already troops there and so on. It's best to know who is standing with the right and who's standing with the wrong now, you know. It's not about a military base of the American military can be moved to any other country, you know. This is not the issue. The issue is by putting the base there, you are protecting the country that is actually the source of all terror.
Yeah,
so it's a conflict of interest. You guys are, I mean, what does it take to show? I mean, all the heads of terror groups live there. All the clergymen that tell people that they can go and blow up cars and kill people are on their TVs and live there like they are treated like royalty. I mean, I don't understand now what Mr. Tillerson is trying to do. Is he going to tell them, yeah, let's all just get together and it's fine, you can do whatever you've been doing, or they really will put measures into place to make sure they stop doing what they're doing? You know?
Yeah, I want to get your take on the foreign policy out of the Trump administration versus what you saw in the Obama administration, because that was one of the issues that really alienated our friends in the Middle East when the U.S. did not support the president of Egypt at the time. Was this something that you saw as a big change? Tell us about the differences in terms of foreign policy.
First of all, I hold Mr. Obama responsible for the disaster we're in now. ISIS could have never flourished to that extent, to the fact that they have an army now, a capital in Mosul. They are in Raqqa, they're in Libya, in Iraq, and Syria, fully funded, fully strong, because we said no boots on the ground, because we were doing sightseeing tours with the planes and doing nothing about them, to the effect that they became and their base is where they send these people in Europe now, killing people with cars or bombs, because they have a base, they can plan in tranquility, and we are all watching there from the air and doing nothing. You know, even now if we drag them out of Mosul, where would they go? Either again to Syria or to Libya. So it's not going to end like that. So the one who left all that and said, it's just like he said that if Assad uses chemical word, this is a red line, and then he didn't do anything. I mean, it's you have to keep you have to do what you say. You can't. So the change now is that I think Mr. Trump is very serious about combating terror. I'm just trying to tell him, please don't let your foreign minister, because of oil and gas, because of financial interest, because of the base, try to persuade you, because this is like we've just been said now. This is a historic moment where finally even the Saudis now understand that they should all stand together to fight terror. So if you lose this moment in this history, don't cry later on if they keep on sending us kids here who blow up our kids in concerts and in sports activities and take cars and kill innocent people in the street. You know?
Yeah. Should the president call out the Muslim Brotherhood as a terrorist organization?
It doesn't matter, because they are a terrorist organization. If you want to call them this, call them. If you don't, what you need to do is treat them like a terror organization. If you don't want to call them for political reasons, because you don't want to drive them to become more extreme, because you're scared from them, don't call them. But they are. You need to read the history. The source of all terror organizations, the main tube out of which all these people came out, is the Muslim Brotherhood. You know, it's Sayyid Qutb and his writings. Is these people they hate us for no reason, because we have a different religion.
Naguib, it's good to have you on the program this morning. Thanks so much. We appreciate your insights this morning.
You're welcome.
Naguib Sawiris joining us there in Paris. We'll be right back.